So come onto your mat, and this class is really about connecting into the pulse, the spanda, and in particular the expansion, which is if prana is a capital P, then it's broken into different ways of moving. So expansion is vyana, and then samana is this drawing in and condensing into center. So we'll be pulsing through that. We can set that up with the spine straight away. So inhaling and opening through the front of the body, in particular through the belly, breathing into the belly. And as you exhale, this condensing in and navel to spine. Inhale to open through the front of the body. And exhale as you round the spine, just that, feel that one pointed focus into center. With your inhale, expand, so the rocking happens through the pelvis, through the spine, through the head and neck. But really, what I'd love you to connect into is this center, your navel center, and radiating out from there and condensing back into there. So this next one's turning that up quite a lot. I'd recommend you could stay with that movement if you want to, or this is, as many of you know, we borrow things from the 5 Tibetans. So I'd recommend being on fists, and as you inhale, lift into this reverse table position. And with your exhale, sitting back down and maybe even giving the hands a break. And with your breath, inhale to open and expand, radiating from navel to crown and to base. So now, if you want to turn it up, then you don't really rest. Instead, you hover the hips and you get that condensing back into center. And we'll just do this a few times. But you've got plenty of options, either having the little rest pause or sticking with the crossed legs movement. And then let's come down. So yes, there's lots of movement here, but eventually we'll come into stillness and still try and connect into this spanda or pulse of the universe. So rather than coming back into a down dog, just bring the hips forward through a squat and coming into a standing forward fold. And again, this pulsation here, inhaling to open through the front of the body and a soft belly there. And as you exhale, actively draw the navel into the spine and fold in. A couple more times like that, inhaling to lift. Just yawning your body to life, not needing too much from it right now. Just condensing back into center. Come up through your spinal roll and sweeping the arms out and up. Let the palms touch overhead and exhale, hands down through center. So place the hands onto the belly and let's just connect in a couple of times. Inhale to expand and open out and even back bend a little if that's available for you. And exhaling and coming in and navel to spine as well as the pelvic floor lifting up. So you may know it as Mula Bandha. Inhaling to open and exhaling. Not so much rounding here, but just this activation. One last time. Inhale. And with your exhale, just sink down into a chair pose. Inhale to stretch the arms up, and with your exhale, brush the elbows alongside the side waist. Inhale, expand out, sink the hips down, reach to the fingertips, and exhale that, drawing all of your attention back into center. Okay, let's inhale and rise up. And as you exhale, fold forward and down. Stepping one leg, then the other leg back and into your plank position. And if you're able to, a couple of times here. So it might even feel like you're sagging the hips down. That's your inhale. And as you exhale, press into the earth, dome through the upper back and engage through the core. Just twice more like that. Feel free to have the knees down. Last one. Expand, reach to the heels and to the crown, and exhale. Then expand out and lower yourself down. Rise up into your Shavasana just for a few moments here. And then let's come into Sphinx Pose with the elbows down. So lengthen back through all 10 toes and forward through the heart. So that's our natural expansion of inhale. And then as you exhale, look into the belly and lift through the belly. Then keep that lift through the belly as you add in the expansion feeling. And in the wheel of the year, we're definitely in the expansion phase. So go ahead and linger in that expansion, forward through the heart, up through the crown, back through all 10 toes. And then taking the palms onto each other like namaste hands and lifting up into this Dolphin Plank. Again, you could have the knees down, but just this same movement, hips sink a little. And as you exhale, lift the hips, scoop the tail. Wow, I was cold before. Not anymore. And then lowering down. Rise up into a cobra just to stretch that out. Again, just that feeling of enjoying the expansion phase of life, of the year, and of the practice. Lower down. Rise up through your full or half push-up and back into your downward facing dog, which you can make your own, maybe with a little heel press. Maybe twisting. And then let's pulse. So inhale the right leg up into the air. And go for it with that expansion. So press the hands into the earth, lift through that right leg. And exhale, condensing in once again, rounding through the back, knee into the chest. And we'll do this twice more. Inhale up and exhaling in. Last one. And step the foot forward. Rise up into your crescent position. And adding in that elbows drawing back alongside the side waist and bend the back knee. Going into that condensing and then shining out rightly to the fingertips and to the back heel. Exhaling and inhale. Okay, little tricky. Bring the hands down through namaste. Turn the back heel in and down. And then pivot, so you've got both sets of toes facing towards the corners of the mat. So you're in this skandasana position. And we'll just move from side to side, just warming the body up, getting ready. Getting ready for what, you might wonder. So we're actually going to, we're doing this symmetrically, so it doesn't matter which leg you go to. I'm going to the left leg first, and so into this chair pose, facing to the corner, sweeping the arms up, and I've got the feet together, but that's up to you. Exhaling, inhale to reach up, and exhale to coil in. Then come into the expansion. So inhale and open out into this goddess shape. And exhaling to the other end of the mat. Brushing the elbows along the side waist. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale. Inhale to expand out. And then let's move back and forth now. So this is our inhale shape and the exhale. It's like adding in this feeling of expanding beyond your body rather than just being this physical form, but feeling into the energetics of the body, the prana, that life force. Exhale, condensing in. Inhaling, expanding out. All right, so let's hold the goddess shape, and you can stretch out through one leg, then the other leg, maybe taking the hands down towards the earth a little, as you then walk the hands back to the front of the mat. Now that we've got the legs alive, step back into your plank position. Look into the belly, lift through the belly, get that feeling of condensing in, but then shine out. So we're not moving at all. Energetically holding both, being centered and expanding out. And then press the earth away and lower down. You can rise up into your Sphinx position again. Just that tiny little bit of tone through the lower belly and even a little lift through the pelvic floor. Then expand out from there. So it's happening energetically. Yes, physically, they're the pathways, but can you reach for something as if it's just beyond you? Not so much with your body, but with your energetic field, your aura maybe. And exhaling to lower down. Rise through your push-up and back into downward dog. And then take 3 pulses with your left leg. So inhaling the left leg to the sky. Again, that feeling of integration, of wholeness. Yes, you've got these 2 end points, but it's almost like you're going beyond them. And then stepping forward. Rising up, and with your breath, exhaling, bend the elbows, coil in, inhale, expanding out. Last one like that. So from here then, just pausing for a moment, pausing in that expansion, again, that springtime, lingering in the growth. And then we'll release the hands and pivot around. So again, I'm just going to flip so you don't have too much butt. So again, doesn't matter, we're symmetrical with this. So bending into each knee, maybe lowering down a little bit more this time, if that's available for your body. Maybe even using your hands. And as we tap into this energetic field, like the martial artists do, maybe you can tap into a feeling of lightness, of ease, flow like water, as Bruce Lee would say. All right, so then making your way up and through this Malasana or goddess shape. And you know where we're going. Again, it doesn't really matter which leg you go to. Just coming into this chair pose shape and staying here. So you're facing to the corner, which can spin yogis out because we don't do this very often, but it's a good thing. Inhale to take the arms up and exhale into a twist. Just allowing your Opposite knee to come forward. Inhale, back up through center, and exhaling, twisting. Inhale, back up through center, and let's step across into this Malasana shape. Pausing for a moment here, expanding again. And don't smile here. Don't smile unless you want to feel fantastic. Opening to possibilities, expansion and growth. Let's switch to the other side. So this time we're going to hold the twists. So inhale to take the arms up and exhale into your twist. It doesn't matter which side. But do allow that back knee to come forward. Add in that expansion, particularly through the chest. So rather than rounding, add in that little cobra through the upper back. And inhaling up through center and twisting off to the other side. Leg day, huh? Always leg day in my classes. Remember that the opposite knee is coming forward as well. And then inhale through your chair position. Exhale into that little drawing back in. Inhale to expand back out. Straightening the legs, rising up, parallel the feet, and exhale to fold yourself forward and down. So it doesn't matter where you get to, maybe catching hold behind the ankles and drawing in. And whichever way you need to go to, wherever your front of the mat is, then just walking the hands around, step yourself back. You could rest into child's pose if that is calling for you, or keeping both expansion and condensing through plank and through your back bend. Lingering in the opening, yet not losing the gifts of turning inside, turning within. Lowering down. You can rise back up through your plank and into downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up into the air. And with the right leg lifted, press in through the hands to extend and lift the leg a little more. I don't even mind if the hip opens. Are you opening through the hip a little? That's perfect. Good. And then walking the hands back. And now if you can, close that hip down. So you've got the right hip down lower and reach back through that back leg like we did, but now adding in the reach through the crown as well. So rising up into your warrior position. It could be hands on the floor, or if you wanted to, stretching the arms forward as well. Really maximizing that opening. Again, just lingering in the expansion, like the cat would in the sunshine. And then making your way up, bring the knee up into the chest and crossing the legs over. So you've got the legs crossed and the right leg's in front slightly. Inhale to take the arms up and lean over to the right side. Again, going for this energetic reach, not just your physical. Can you maybe close the eyes, and even if you can't feel energy, maybe as tingling or buzzing, it doesn't matter, just going for what if I could, What if I could feel energy, the energy I am made of? With the torchlight of your awareness, then just illuminating this energy, stroking it with your awareness. Come back up through center and draw the knee back up into the chest. Open the knee out to the side and finding tree pose, pop the foot so you've got your right foot lifted. We won't be here too long. If you wanted to, expand the arms out. So you can tap into all of this lush foliage behind me, going for that green growth, new growth. Not only physical, mental, emotional, but energetic expansion. What does that mean to you? Maybe it's stepping into more of yourself, shining that out with the world. You can then bring the right knee in and step the right foot forward to the space, way forward. Actually, you can take it all the way forward so that I've got a nice slippery mat. I don't know how I always end up with slippery mats. There's a video on that. Inhale to take the arms up. And then exhale this right hand onto the right thigh, going into your twist, Parshvakonasana. And maybe extending the arm out. You could also be here and going for that experience of opening and what that means to you. Yes, the physical muscles are stretching, the bones are separating, but can you feel it at an energetic level? We are energetic beings as well. That prana, that life energy. And then release and touch down. You can then drop the back knee onto the floor. Let's straighten up through the right leg just for a moment. Rocking forward and back a couple of times. And then coming back in and go right elbow onto the thigh. You could pad underneath that left knee if you'd like to, and bring the heel towards the buttock. So now, reaching through the right arm, if you're able to, makes it more yogic to bring the thumb and index finger together. It's a little bit of a balance challenge, but really going for the opening. Seeking the opening, but with discernment, making sure that you are, of course, looking after yourself. Not running ragged, not overdoing. And then release and touching down. Stepping yourself back. Moving through this plank with the expansion, feeling of expansion. Lowering down, maybe moving through a connecting vinyasa through your plank to up dog. Thighs are bright. And looking into the belly to exhale straight back into downward facing dog. Inhale and take the left leg to the sky. So go for that reach, like you're trying to get something with your toes. Use the hands to accentuate that. But it's not just physical. Go for that energetic feeling, whatever that is for you. And if you can't feel anything, then just making it up is totally included as well. And if you're already making it up, then go you. All right, so from here, we then take this into Virabhadrasana Three, which could be with the arms forward or arms to the side, or sticking with your hands on the floor. But Just more life in that back leg. Prana, energy, pulse. And then drawing the knee up into the chest. Being okay with your blood pressure there. Do what you need to do. Take the foot across and pinky toes touch. Inhale to sweep the arms up and leaning over to the left. So you should have your left leg in front here. So some people feel energy as tingling, as buzzing. Some feel it as warmth, some feel it as coolness. So whatever way that you relate to that subtle energy, that life force energy that's brimming within you. Come back up through center and bring the knee into the chest again. Take the foot into your tree pose. So you're at the back of the mat. Don't fall off the veranda. I was talking to myself. Opening the arms out and going into this expansion mode. Maybe drawing up from the earth's energy. Expanding out in a sustainable, nourishing way. So maybe even committing today one way that you can expand yourself. Maybe it's learning something. Maybe it's calling someone. Maybe it's doing something that you'd been putting off. Okay, you can come back through center and knee into the chest and then stepping forward. Again, I've got this lovely slippery mat so you can do what you need to do and coming into this crescent position, beautiful position to experience this expansion and opening. So I've got palms facing forward and opening out. Then left hand, left leg and come across and into this twist. Check that you're not collapsing, dulling, that instead that expansion is a brightening, like turning the dimmer switch up on a set of lights. You can send the left hip back and the crown forward, back heel back to find that opening, a sweet space. Hand release and touch the hands down. Drop the back knee to the floor and rocking back, forward and back a few times. Again, some padding might be helpful underneath the knee. As you come forward this time, keep the right hand on the, reach the right hand back for your right foot. And draw the heel to the buttock. If you want to add in a little more energy, kick the right foot back into the hand so they're having this constant conversation. And then if you're able to, reaching the left arm up. So good. You feeling good? I'm sure you are. If you're still here, I'm sure you're feeling good. It's almost guaranteed with yoga, isn't it? So come back into your child's pose for a moment. Pillow the hands. And recognizing that the ancients, in many cultures, talked about the energy, life force that comes in via the breath. So as you inhale, imagine yourself being porous. as you're porous, you're taking more energy in. Allow every cell in your body to receive that energy. Flare the nostrils. I love watching horses breathe. They just flare their nostrils and receive the breath in. So do that. Flare your nostrils, receive the breath in. Imagine every cell of your body like an open mouth, receiving this energy. Not so much blood or oxygen, but energy, life energy. Top up your tanks right now. And then coming back up, imagining as you place your hands down that they're glistening with life. So either from hands and knees or from downward facing dog, we'll just take a couple of more passive yin style stretches. So taking the right leg up and drawing the knee in, and then stepping the foot forward and have both hands to the inside. So make sure you've got a nice long stance as we come into lizard pose. For some of you, you might be able to drop the elbows down. Others might be up here. You can also use your friend, the block, to bring the floor to you. Notice already this rounding, and instead expand and open out. Opening, opening. And yes, you'll probably feel some muscular tension, tightness. But instead, can you focus on the energetics? Like a kink in a hose that has been unkinked. Experience the prana, life energy flowing through your body. And whatever that means to you, however you relate to it, there is certainly no right and wrong with these more or less tangible subjects. You can make your way up and heel toe that foot over into your pigeon pose. Looking back over the left leg and steering the left hip forward and then coming on down. So if you wanted to, you could come into the twist. The left arm comes across the body and even reaching back with the right hand for the back foot. It is something that we talk about often, is our energy levels. So it's not such a foreign subject for us. Maybe just tuning into a more subtle layer rather than the overt experience of being tired or heightened energy. Continuing to lengthen and savor and enjoy the breath. Feel yourself topping up your tanks with every single breath. And you can gradually then make your way on up and coming back into your hands and knees or downward facing dog. And taking the second side, so left leg can reach and expand back. With the exhale, bring the knee to the chest and step the foot forward, maybe to the space between the hands, and giving yourself this generous length through your stance. so that the knee is above the ankle rather than being forward of the ankle. Remember your options here. Certainly you want the head bowed down, but not if it's pulling the neck or the upper back into a rounded shape. Remember that little hint of expansion that we're taking our inspiration from nature and her springtime glory. Expansion, growth. Breath by breath, receive the prana in. You can then heel toe the foot across and come into more of this pigeon pose. Threading, if you wanted to, going into the twist, wrapping around, maybe catching hold. So as yogis, yes, we could look at challenging ourselves and expanding by having more advanced asana in our practice. And yet, equally as yogis, it's valid for us to focus on becoming more and more subtle in our awareness. Not so much the outer form, but rather the inner life, inner landscape. So how can you heighten your attentiveness to this energy, this subtle flow of energy, where it's blocked, where it flows freely? And even if you feel like you're just making it up, then it's true for you, no problem. Placebo is at least 1/3 of the result. So even if you believe something that you're experiencing to be true, then it might as well be. So make it a good experience. All right, lean into that left hip and bring the right leg around. We'll come back and come down onto your back. Just take a little mini Shavasana for a moment. We will be taking a spinal twist before this. So we have been working with this expanding and contracting. Let's just run our awareness now from the crown of the head down to the feet, and from the soles of the feet up to the crown of the head. If you can, with your breath, so inhale at the crown of the head and exhale down from the crown, your awareness to the soles of the feet, and inhaling up like a straw from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. Exhaling down, grounding, inhaling. So as if your body were a hollow straw and doing whole body breathing up and down. We'll get back to that in a moment, but for now you can bend the knees up and shuffle the hips over to the right side and take the knees to the left, so coming into this spinal twist. And in the spinal twist, continue to do that whole body breathing. So Inhaling from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head, and navigating these twists and turns. Exhaling your awareness down, the breath, the prana, the life energy down. Inhaling, breathing the whole way up the body. And then turning yourself back onto your back and switching sides. So shuffle the hips over to the left and knees to the right. Again, working with this whole body breath. And as the breath moves through the body, then there's this capacity for clearing obstructions. In the way that the river carries debris down, you can release through the soles of the feet or through the crown of the head. Navigating those twists and turns again. And then you can find yourself a position for Shavasana. So laying yourself down for Shavasana, perhaps with a bolster underneath the knees. Take a few more of those full body breaths. Looking for that subtle energy and how you experience. So for some it might be you can feel it more in the palms of the hands, or the soles of the feet, or the roof of the mouth. Just allow this energy, life energy, to course through you. If you're still breathing longer, stronger breaths, just let that go now. We're looking for increasingly subtler awareness. For some, you may feel your whole body tingling, vibrating, buzzing. For others, you may feel nothing at all, and that's completely fine as well. Continuing this awareness of the subtle energy that animates, and that it is not just housed in the physical body, but it is all around us. It's pretty normal now, you feel a vibe off someone. Others can feel your vibe. So what is it that you would like to carry with you today as you go out into the world, back out into your life, into all your interactions? What is the flavor that you want to carry with you? To perhaps gift to others. So feel free to stay here or come on up. I will bid you farewell, namaste. Thank you for your presence, and thank you for the gift that you will give to the planet today. Namaste. Thank you.